Galatians chapter 4, verse 4. But when the fullness of time was come, God sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. What happened 2,000 years ago? Let us go to Bethlehem. Heavenly angels had seen the glory which the Son of God shared with the Father before the world was, and they had looked forward with intense interest to his appearance on earth as an event fraught with the greatest joy to all people. Angels were appointed to carry the glad tidings to those who were prepared to receive it, and who would joyfully make it known to the inhabitants of the earth. Christ had stooped to take upon himself man's nature. He is to bear an infinite weight of woe as he shall make his soul an offering for sin. Yet angels desire that even in his humiliation, the Son of the Highest may appear before men with a dignity and glory befitting his character. Will the great men of earth assemble at Israel's capital to greet his coming? Will legions of angels present him to the expectant company? An angel visits the earth to see who are prepared to welcome Jesus, but he can discern no tokens of expectancy. He hears no voice of praise and triumph that the period of the Messiah's coming is at hand. The angel hovers for a time over the chosen city and the temple where the divine presence was manifested for ages, but even here is the same indifference. The priests, in their pomp and pride, are offering polluted sacrifices in the temple. The Pharisees are with loud voices addressing the people or making boastful prayers at the corners of the streets. There is no evidence that Christ is expected, no preparation for the Prince of Life. In amazement, the celestial messenger is about to return to heaven with the shameful tidings when he discovers a group of shepherds who are watching their flocks by night and, as they gaze into the starry heavens, are contemplating the prophecy of a Messiah to come to earth and longing for the advent of the world's Redeemer. Here is a company that can be trusted with the heavenly message. And suddenly, the angel of the Lord appeared, declaring the good tidings of great joy. Celestial glory flooded all the plain. An innumerable company of angels were revealed. And as if the joy were too great for one messenger to bring from heaven, a multitude of voices broke forth in the anthem which all the nations of the saved shall one day sing. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward man. Oh, what a lesson in this wonderful story of Bethlehem! How it rebukes our unbelief, our pride, and self-sufficiency. How it warns us to beware lest by our criminal indifference we also fail to discern the signs of the time and therefore know not the day of our visitation. It is unto them that look for him that Christ is to appear the second time without sin unto salvation. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 28. Read from the Fourth Spirit of Prophecy, page 198. The prophecy the shepherds are contemplating in the starry heaven is the prophecy of the plan of salvation in the sky through the Mazzaroth as found in the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 32. Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season, or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? The Mazzaroth, or the planisphere, is also connected with the sanctuary. And here we give you the link for your perusal. The popular beginning of the Mazzaroth planisphere in the past and today is with Aris Tole, the ram, and concludes with Pisces Dagim. But comparing this revelation with that which was afterward written in the volume of the book, Virgo Betula is the only point where we can intelligently begin, and Leo Ariel is the only point where we can logically conclude. Beginning then with Virgo Betula, let us now spread out the contents of this heavenly volume so that the eye can take them in at a glance. The pictures that will be presented are ancient and have come down to us from primitive times. After the revelation came to be written down in the scriptures, there was not the same need for the preservation of the heavenly volume. And after the nation had lost the original meaning of the pictures, they invented a meaning out of the vain imagination of the thoughts of their hearts, namely astrology, spiritualism. The Greek mythology is an interpretation of only some of the signs and constellations after their true meaning had been forgotten. It is popularly believed that Bible truth is an evolution from or development of the ancient religions of the world. But the fact is that they themselves, those ancient religions of the world, a corruption and perversion of primitive truth. So don't let any education, whatever name it is, teach you astrology, spiritualism, rather than the truth of astronomy, along with the Mazzaroth. In the Psalm chapter 19, and we go all the way from verse 1 to 6 in this case, the heaven declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. And what we will be looking at in this particular presentation is the biblical geography of the heavens based on the Creator's universal laws. And it includes the ecliptic line, the path of the sun and the planets, which is mentioned in Psalm chapter 19. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them, as he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. And if you do not know the signification, Job chapter 38, verse 5 also complete this study of the line upon it. Who has laid the measure thereof, if thou knowest? God is asking Job, or who had stretched the line upon it? This line in astronomy, which you find both in the Mazzaroth and the planisphere, which are the same, basically, this is actually from astronomy. The ecliptic line is an extrapolated line in the sky made up of the 12 cardinal constellations, which mark the annual path of the sun and planets. The moon travels the ecliptic line north and south monthly. An extrapolation is like what's presented here with Scorpio, where you bring the stars together, which forms a constellation. A constellation is a group of stars. And here we find in the what we call here, we have the Mazzaroth and we have the planisphere. In astronomy, a planisphere is a star chart analog computing instrument in the form of two adjustable disks that rotate on a common pivot. It can be adjusted to display the visible stars for any time and date. It is an instrument to assist in learning how to recognize stars and constellations. Planispheres are available for the North and South Hemisphere. So planisphere and Mazzaroth are the same. This is an astronomical instrument. It's not astrology, it's astronomy. It's scientific. And it actually brings you the 12 constellations in their season. And this one would be the North Hemisphere, but they have also made the South Hemisphere. Here we have 3 books that are in the Mazzaroth, which represent the Creator's work, his creation, and we have 3 compartments in the sanctuary, his word, which represent his redemption. 3 books, 3 compartments, and creation, redemption, and true education are one. And this beautiful, what we call the Mazzaroth planisphere and sanctuary are part of true education. The heavens declare the glory of God. New light in the Mazzaroth, a woman, a crown of 12 stars, a dragon. Revelation chapter 12, verse 1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Psalm chapter 147, verse 4 says, He telleth the number of the stars. He giveth them all their names. In this important study, you will learn how many constellations, cardinals, and deacons, and how many stars the Lord intends for us to understand this beautiful plan. There is a great wonders in heaven there are more than one. Revelation chapter 12, verses 1 and 3 reveals the wonder of the woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars, and the wonder of the dragon. This woman has a garland of crown on her head, crown of 12 stars. In Hebrew, we find the word here, as we saw in the book of Job. It means a garland of crowns. That's what the Mazzaroth means, a crown of 12 stars. But in context, it is having to do with astronomical constellations, and it is often interpreted as a term for the zodiac, which means a circle of animals, or the constellations thereof, which we found in Job chapter 38, verses 31 and 32. So its context then is also the woman of Revelation chapter 12, verse 1. And this woman is both representative of the one who gave birth, Virgo Betula, of a child, a male child, but it's also representative of the church, who will be teaching this wonderful truth, especially now in these last days. This is a restoration of truth that used to be known, and it has been lost in history. And the Lord has allowed us in this time of earth history, just before the second coming of Christ, but before that, there are many events, as we know. There are the Sunday law that is coming. There are also the plagues that are coming. And then finally, the coming of Christ. In this wonderful study of the Mazzaroth, you find actually, because of the names of the cardinal constellation, deacon constellation, their meaning is given, and it creates the whole plan of redemption from the first coming with books number 1 and 2 to the second and third coming in book number 3. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6, For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. Psalms chapter 67, verse 1, God be merciful unto us and bless us, and may he cause his face to shine upon us and give us peace. May the Lord bless you as you continue to study fervently and present it to as many people as possible.